Welcome back to this third episode in our workshop series on Audacity. In this workshop particularly I would like to talk about sound shaping and sound edits. So let's get started with some of our example sounds again. And I would like to bring in the sound number 5, walk sign is on, from our examples folder. Again, this folder you can download from our Course Brightspace account, or you can also get it from a link that I posted in the comments below this video. So let's take this sound and drag and drop it into Audacity, and this is actually from the intersection on Stadium and Northwestern. And if you remember this intersection, for the pedestrians there are these little buttons that you can push that also start to speak to you when the light comes on and when you can cross the road. So let's just pre-listen this sound.
To cross. Walk sign is on to.
All right, so we have actually this digitized speech, which is kind of interesting, and I would like to use some of these words that you can hear here. So for example, this one, walk sign. So going again by looking at the waveform. Sign. And experiment a little bit with some of the post-production strategies and techniques that you can use in Audacity. The first thing that I would like you to show is how you can play with time and how you can either slow down or speed up your recordings in Audacity. You can go to Effect and start out with the change speed effect in here. And what that does is it allows you to speed up or slow down your recordings. So you can go, by default it says 1.0 in here, you can go and you can slow that down to half of the speed. And then listen to it.
Walk is on to.
So that sounds quite funny, and that has to do with the fact that not only does the speed change of your recording, but also the pitch. So it's much deeper in its frequency, and sometimes this is desired and sometimes this is not desirable in your recordings. So let me quickly undo that. So edit, undo, change speed, and then go back and show you another effect that you can use, which is called change tempo. And change tempo also allows you to change the playback speed of something, but it doesn't change the pitch, it doesn't change the frequency while doing so. So in this case, if I say I want, and by default I think it also says 0% change in here. This is maybe what you would see when you open this for the first time. So if you want to slow it down to 50% of its playback speed, you would type in -50 here, hit OK, and it stretches it out to the same duration as we've seen before. But now when you play it back,
walk sign is on to.
It sounds much more natural. It is drawn out, it is changed in its speed, but it allows you to keep the overall sound quality of these spoken words intact. So that could be quite interesting for you to experiment with. All right, let's undo this, edit, undo, change tempo. And then I would also like to show you how you can reverse the playback speed of your recordings. So again, I use the word sign right here, and then I would go to Effect and I would say reverse. Now if you play it back,
walk now is on to.
It completely changes the meaning of the word, it completely changes the sound quality of the word, from something that we recognize as the word sign to something that becomes illegible, or it doesn't make any sense anymore in terms of its actual meaning of the word that we hear. So there could be something interesting to explore with some of your recordings as well, reversing their playback speed and seeing what kind of tonal, what kind of acoustic qualities you get from the recordings in that sense. The final thing I would like you to show, and let me undo this quickly. I hit the Control Z or Command Z keyboard shortcut on my keyboard here in order to do that. The last thing I would like you to show is to bring things into the right order by editing sounds. So by basically chopping up parts and taking out certain elements from this continuous recording and rearranging them so that they are being played back in a new order. So going back to the beginning of this recording, and you can hit the skip to start or skip to end buttons in order to very quickly skip to either the starting point of your recording or the end point of your recording, right here. Let's play this back one more time and observe how it actually is missing the last part of the walk sign is on to cross, because cross is happening before and then it says walk sign is on. So let's listen
On
to
to
it.
cross. Walk sign is on to.
So, and this could be something that we want to change. So let's imagine that we want to have the full sentence walk sign is on to cross and not walk sign is on to and then the beep sound, as we can hear in this part of the recording. So the way I would do this is I would actually take this part that was recorded in the beginning of this recording, and it just says to cross.
To cross.
And then I will need to bring this part all the way at the end of this recording that just says walk sign is on.
Walk sign is on.
Okay, so what I can do is I can simply select this last part here, which just says to and then the beep sound, and just simply cut this out by hitting the delete key on my keyboard. Then I would go back to the beginning and I would take this part, and you see very often looking at the sound form is actually a really good strategy to see where certain sounds start and where certain sounds end. And if you want to take a closer look, you can actually use this magnifying glass here and then zoom in, take a closer look. So the part where it says to is right here, and then this would be cross right here at the end of this recording. If you want to zoom out, you can press the shift key on your keyboard, and that allows you to zoom out again and take a more of an overview of your recording. So again, let's switch back to my selection tool. I want to start my selection right here where it says to and cross. I will copy this, edit, copy, and then I move all the way back to the end of my recording. You can actually hit this button that says put my selection bar all the way to the end. So select end, and then I just paste, edit, paste my previous recording in here. So let's listen to that. Zoom out just a little bit using the shift key. I start my playback right here.
Walk sign is on to cross.
All right, and so now we have the full sentence walk sign is on to cross in the right order, just doing some very simple edits. This marks the end of this workshop, and we will wrap up this workshop series with the final installment, the final episode on composing and working with multiple tracks in Audacity.